All right, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chachodash, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone and salutations to the elect. This is the brother lawyer from Great Millstone, Miami, and what I'll be entitling this lesson is Hope and Comfort. Some of you shall be cast into prison. Okay. And pretty much this lesson, man, I was meditating on it earlier through the spirit, man. Look, man, we are coming into some serious times. The hour of temptation is drawing nigh, man. Esau, the so-called white man, is coming down with his draconian measures. And, for us believers, what that means is that some of us may be cast into prison, for our testimony, for our faith. But there's hope and comfort in that, okay? Because, the Lord, put the Spirit upon the apostles of the ancient times, to preach the word, okay? And you had the unbelievers and the heathens at times cast them into prison, okay? And condemn them to shameful and harsh deaths, man. But the Lord, in the midst of all of that, he intervened, and there are accounts of that in the scriptures, man, okay, for us to take hold to and find comfort in, man, and believe, okay, have faith and believe, man, because anything is possible, okay. All right, so I just want to go into that in this lesson, man. This is Revelation chapter 2 and 10, and Lord willing, this video is edifying, okay. Lord willing, it's edifying. It says, Revelations 2 and 10, it says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. But be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death." Okay? All right, so hey, we read here in the scriptures, man. Look, man, okay. Esau the devil, he's coming down having great wrath because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Okay. And what that means is that some of the believers, okay, may be cast into prison, man. But the Lord said, "Be thou faithful unto death, and he shall give thee a crown of life," man. Okay, because really what that is just a trying of our faith, like everything else is, man. You know what I'm saying? All right. And, the Lord's not going to leave us in their hands, man. And the scriptures tell us that in the book of Psalms, though he fall, okay, he shall not be utterly cast down. And, how the Lord will not leave us in their hands, okay, or condemn him when he is judged, man. Okay, that's for the righteous, okay. All right, so we got to understand, look, man, the Lord is not going to leave us or forsake us no matter what, okay? And there's accounts in the scriptures where men of the Lord, for their testimony that they spoke of Yahweh Shai and the works that they did, were cast into prison. And the Lord intervened, okay? And that's the point, all right? The Lord is going to intervene in our sufferings as he always done, okay? All right, this is Acts chapter 5, verse 12. It says, "And by the hands of the apostles were many signs and wonders wrought among the people, and they were all with one accord in Solomon's porch. And of the rest, there's no man joined himself to them, but the people magnified them. And believers were the more added to the Lord, multitudes, both men and women, insomuch that they brought forth the sick into the streets, and laid them on beds and couches, that at the least the shadow of Peter passing by might overshadow some of them. And there came also a multitude out of the cities round about unto Jerusalem, bringing sick folks and them that were vexed with unclean spirits, and they were healed every one. Then the high priest rose up, and all that were with him, which is the sect of the Sadducees, and were filled with indignation, and laid their hands on the apostles, and put them in the common prison. But the angel of the Lord by night opened the prison doors, and brought them forth, and said, Go stand and speak in the temple to all people the words of this life. Okay, so we see here, look, man, it's nothing too hard for the Lord, man. Okay, the Lord done delivered the entire nation of Israel, okay, or a large portion of Israel from Egypt, man. Okay, he delivered Israel from Egypt, man. Okay, while we were in bondage in Egypt, the house of bondage, man. And that was like a prison for us, man. and the Lord plagued Egypt with 10 plagues, and then eventually we left. Okay, so what is to say that the Lord can't do that on an individual basis, man? Look how the Lord sent an angel. The angel of the Lord by night opened the prison doors, man. Okay, and spoke unto them and said, stand and speak in the temple to the people all the words of this life. And when they heard that, they entered into the temple early in the morning and taught. But the high priest came, and they that were with him, and called the council together, and all the senate of the children of Israel, and sent to the prison to have them brought. But when the officers came, they found them not in the prison, and they returned and told, saying, the prison truly found we shut with all safety, and the keeper standing without before the door. But when we had opened, we found no man within. Okay, so that's how great the miracle was. The Lord had an angel come and release the apostles from prison, because they were put into prison because of their faith and the testimony that they spoke and the works that they did. Okay, right? And the Lord had the angels take them out of that situation. Okay, all right. And then when the officers came to the prison, they found the prison doors shut like regular, like everything was closed up, locked down, and everything. Okay, all right. But when they looked, they didn't find anybody in there. Okay. All right. It says, now when the high priest and the captain of the temple and the chief priest heard these things, they doubted of them whereunto this would grow. And they came, and then came one and told them, saying, behold, the men whom ye put in prison are standing in the temple and teaching the people. Okay. So there you go, man. That's an example right there, man. Okay. How the Lord sent an angel to deliver the disciples and the apostles from prison when they were cast into prison for preaching the word and the testimony of Yahweh Shai, man. You know, and that just goes to show you that it's possible, man. The Lord, you know, the Lord is his hand is not short and that he cannot save, man. Okay. All right. Nothing's too hard for the Lord. Okay, another one, Acts chapter 12, verse 1, it says, now about that time Herod the king stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church, and he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. And because he saw that it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him up to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him in, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. I want to look at that word quaternions, because that's a lot of soldiers, man. All right. So basically what happened in this situation is that, you know, Herod, you know, he had a spirit on him to go vex certain of the church, and he killed, you know, he had James, the brother of John, killed, you know what I'm saying? All right. And then when he saw that it pleased the Jews, what he did, he proceeded further to have Peter taken and put into prison, right? All right. And he put a large number of soldiers to watch over the prison, okay, to basically keep Peter, have some people over the prison to watch Peter, okay, while he was there. Okay, but it was a large number of soldiers. I want to look up the word quaternions. Okay, quaternion. If I can find it, but my internet's acting up, bro. But it's fine though. It's okay. It says a set of 4 people or things. I'm looking it up on my phone right now. But yeah, man, he had just moving on, man. He had soldiers, man. Okay, overlooking, you know, Peter's imprisonment. All right. Now it says, look, verse 5, it says, Peter therefore was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto Yahweh for him. And when Herod would have brought him forth, the same night Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers, bound with 2 chains, and the keepers before the door kept the prison. And behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shined in the prison, and he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, Arise quickly. And his chains fell off from his hands, man. So you gotta put that in your mind that this is possible, man. The Lord could send an angel, man. Okay, this is the second account I read that an angel came while a man of the Lord was incarcerated, if you will, in prison. Okay, all right, and pretty much loosed him from his bands, man, loosed him from his chains, okay, while people were sleeping next to him, okay. It was people there watching him, man. So the Lord could literally perform a miracle, send an angel or a brother or anything, perform a miracle to get you out of that position, okay, without other people even so much as being aware, okay. All right, and I'm looking up the word quaternions in the Greek, quaternions. All right, let's see, tetradion. Hold on, it's on my phone.
Strong's G 5069. Tetradion. Tetradion.
All right, it says a guard consisting of 4 soldiers. For among the Romans, this was the usual number of the guard to which the custody of captives and prisoners was entrusted. 2 soldiers were confined within the prison, and 2 kept the guard outside. 4 quaternions of soldiers would be used to guard one all night, one for each of the 4 watches of the night. Okay, so basically, it was basically 4 sets of 4 soldiers, man. Okay, so 4 would come one watch of the night, another 4 the next watch, another 4 the next watch, another 4 the next watch, and it would be 2 inside of the actual bars of the prison with him, okay, in the confines of his prison cell, and 2 on the outside, okay. And so that's what it was with Peter. But look what the Lord did, man. The Lord sent an angel, okay, and shined a light in the prison, and he smote Peter and raised him up, saying, Arise quickly, and his chains fell off from his feet. Okay, and the angel said unto him, Gird thyself and bind on thy sandal. And so he did, and he saith unto him, Cast thy garment about thee and follow me. Okay, so this is all happening, unbeknownst to the soldiers that are guarding him. Okay, that's how the power of the Lord works, man. He can literally send an angel, okay, or even a brother to perform a miracle, okay, of getting you out of prison, or a believer out of prison, unbeknownst to the people that are actually meant there to be there to guard him, okay, to keep him in there. All right. And he went out and followed him, and wist not that it was true which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision. So Peter thought he was dreaming, man. He thought he was seeing a vision. He didn't actually think it was happening in real time. And when they were past the first and the second ward, they came unto the iron gate that leadeth unto the city, which opened to them of his own accord, and they went out and passed on through one street, and forthwith the angel departed from him. And when Peter was come to himself, he said, Now I know of a surety that the Lord hath sent his angel, and hath delivered me out of the hand of Herod, and from all the expectation of the people of the Jews. Okay, so there you go, man. All right, so Peter was led out from, this imprisonment, man, from this situation, and guided, man, outside of the gate, okay, of this giant facility that he was, in, okay, for his imprisonment. All right, and he was set free by an angel, okay, all right. And this can happen, man. That's really the whole point of this video, man. I just put some precepts down. It was something I was thinking about, man, and I was like, man, you gotta think about this types of stuff, man, because nothing is too hard for the Lord, man. The Lord can do whatever, okay. He can intercede in whatever way he so pleases, man. Okay, and so we gotta keep that in mind, man. There's another account acts with Paul, and Silas, and they were in prison, and the Lord had an earthquake, happen, and the prison doors opened, okay, and the guard was going to kill himself, but Peter was like, but Paul was like, no, don't kill yourself, don't do it, and then they asked him, what shall we do that we may be saved? And it's accounts like that, man. It's accounts like that, that we got to meditate on, man. Okay, Daniel in the lion's den, that's another account. You know what I'm saying? You know, where Daniel was shut up in the lion's den, and the Lord sent an angel to stop the mouth of the lion, man. You know, shoot, Samson. Samson. They, they had him. He had, his they gouged his eyes out. And then they had him. They had him captive, and the Lord blessed Samson with strength one last time. So yeah, man, anything's possible. It's Jeremiah 38:1. It says, then this is a situation with Jeremiah too, man. Okay, it says, then Shephatiah the son of Matan, and Gedaliah the son of Pashur, and Jucal the son of Shelemiah, and Pashur the son of Malchiah heard the words that Jeremiah had spoken unto all the people, saying, thus saith the Lord, he that remaineth in the city shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, and he that goeth forth to the Chaldean shall live, for he shall have his life for a prey, and shall live. Thus saith the Lord, this king, or this city, shall surely be given into the hand of the king of Babylon's army, which shall take it. Therefore the princes said unto the king, we beseech thee, let this man be put to death, for thus he weakeneth the hands of the men of war that remaineth in this city, and the hands of all the people in speaking such words unto them, for this man seeketh not the welfare of this people, but the hurt. Okay. All right. So Jeremiah was prophesying to, Israel, to Jerusalem, man. Look, the Babylonians going to come. They're going to take this city. Okay. And if you remain in this city, you're going to die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. Just go out and surrender, but the higher ups, the dignitaries and the princes, they was not having that. They was mad at Jeremiah, saying, he breaking the people's courage, right? So let's kill him, Then Zedekiah the king said, behold, he is in your hand, for the king is not he that can do anything against you. And then took they Jeremiah and cast him into the dungeon of Malchiah the son of Hamelech, that was in the court of the prison, and they let down Jeremiah with cords. And in the dungeon there was no water but mire, so Jeremiah sunk in the mire. So they put Jeremiah in prison, man. They put him in the dungeon that was full of mire, mud and sludge and everything like that. Then it says, now when Ebed-melech the Ethiopian, one of the king's eunuchs, which was in the king's house, heard that they had put Jeremiah in the dungeon, the king then sitting in the gate of Benjamin, Ebed-melech went forth out of the king's house and spake to the king, saying, my lord the king, these men have done evil in all that they have done to Jeremiah the prophet, whom they have cast into the dungeon, and he is like to die for hunger in the place where he is, for there is no more bread in the city. All right. Then the king commanded Ebed-melech the Ethiopian, saying, take from hence 30 men with thee, and take up Jeremiah the prophet out of the dungeon before he die. So Ebed-melech took the men with him, and went into the house of the king under the treasury, and took thence old cast clouts and old rotten rags, and let them down by cords into the dungeon to Jeremiah. Okay. And Ebed-melech the Ethiopian said unto Jeremiah, put now these old cast clouts and rotten rags under thine armholes, under the cords. And Jeremiah did so. So they drew up Jeremiah with cords and took him up out of the dungeon. And Jeremiah remained in the court of the prison. Okay. So there you go. All right. Here in this situation, the Lord had a heathen, man, help get Jeremiah out of the prison that he was in, man. Made this long rope. Okay. These long ropes out of, cloth. And they, had Jeremiah put it underneath his armpits, and they lifted him up out of the miry pit, So the Lord could have a heathen, be used to deliver a brother, or help get a brother out of a situation like that, man. Which the Lord would have situations where the Lord will have other people, intercede or be used to help get men of the Lord out of situations like this, man. All right, even the apostles, they tell their testimony of 9/11, and how there was a woman who came in and pleaded their cause. So look, again, I've been saying this throughout the video. Anything is possible. Okay, anything is possible. Don't put the Lord in a box. What I'm saying? Don't put the Lord in a box, man. You could be in a prison cell or a concentration camp, whatever Esau does. What I'm saying? And you could just be praising the Lord, and then next thing you know, all the walls of the prison collapse and you just walk out. It could happen like that. What I'm saying? An angel could just pop up, what I'm saying, and just teleport you out of there. Things like that can happen, man. Things like that can happen, man. We read situations like this in the scriptures, man. Lord could put the spirit on one of the guards and come in and take you out of there. Then you start breaking the scriptures down to the guard and stuff, and he asking you, how do I repent and what do I do to be saved? Things like that can happen, bro. Things like that can happen. Okay, all right. All right, I got Second Corinthians chapter 11, man. We just got to believe in the word of the Lord, man. Okay, this is 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 32. It says, in Damascus, the governor under Aretas the king kept the city of the Damascenes with a garrison desirous to apprehend me. So in this situation, Paul was in Damascus, and the governor, under the king Aretas kept the city of the Damascenes with a garrison. So he had the whole city on a military scale locked down, trying to get Paul, right? And then it says what? It says, and through a window in a basket was I let down by the wall and escaped his hands. Okay, and you can read that account in the book of Acts, man. The Lord, had a young man, have Paul get delivered by a basket out of from down the wall, man. I want to see if I could find this account, man. Let's see if I can find this. Is Acts chapter 9. See if I can find this account, man. I don't want to misquote it. Okay, so this is after Paul was woken up to the gospel of Yahushua. Okay. All right, verse 20, Acts chapter 9, verse 20, it says, and straightway he preached Hamashiach Yahushua in the synagogues, that he is the son of Yahweh. But all that heard him were amazed and said, is not this he that destroyed them, which called on this name in Jerusalem and came hither for that intent, that he might bring them bound unto the chief priests? But Saul increased more in strength and confounded the Jews which dwelt at Damascus, proving that this is the very Hamashiach. And after that many days were fulfilled the Jews to counsel to kill him. But their laying wait was known of Saul, and they watched the gates day and night to kill him. Then the disciples took him by night and let him down by the wall in a basket. Okay. And when Saul was come to Jerusalem, he essayed to join himself to the disciples, but they were all afraid of him and believed not that he was a disciple. Okay. So here in Damascus, Paul was preaching the gospel, and, they laid wait for him because they was getting cut, and then, they locked the city down and watched the gates day and night to kill him. Because, back then you had a city, and then you had city walls that kept things from going in and out at night, what I'm saying? Or certain parts of the day, and they locked it so they could lock him in, just in case he tried to sneak out, man. But the disciples took him by night and let him down by the wall in a basket, man. So help like that can happen, man. Things like that can happen, and I just want to, I do want to bring out this last one in Daniel. I could bring out more precepts, man, but these are the ones that I have down. I've been mentioning a few, like Daniel in the lion's den, and what I'm saying, you know, and Paul and Acts, man. You know, there's different situations. Even Yahushua, when he was, you know, approached by the authorities of his time, man, you know, he said, "I am he," and then they was just pushed back like a force push type deal. You know what I'm saying? Some type of telekinetic push happened to them, and they just all fell backwards. All right. And when he was under the custody of the authorities, he said, look, don't you know that I have power to call down, you know, 12 legions of angels? I think he said, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, man, the scriptures say the angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that feareth him and delivereth them, man. Okay? All right, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Remember Elisha and the servant, man. And the Lord, you know, opened the eyes of the servant. He saw the mountain was round about with chariots, man. No matter what the situation is, man. Remember Hezekiah in Jerusalem, and, you know, we were sieged into Jerusalem by Sennacherib, king of the Assyrians. And the Lord sent an angel, man. He sent an angel and slew 185,000 of them. And Samson, you know, he had the cords on him, and they became as flax. And, you know, he picked up a jawbone and, you know, slew 1,000 men. You know, it's possible. Anything is possible, man. Okay. Daniel chapter 3 verse 1, it says, Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold, whose height was 80 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits, and he set it up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent to gather together the princes, the governors, and the captains, and the judges, treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the province to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Then the princes, the governors, and captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then an herald cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king hath set up. And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people, the nations, and all the languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Okay, so here we have a situation in ancient Babylon where King Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had set up a golden image to be worshipped, you know, and he made a decree, you know, if nobody worship this, you're going to be cast into a fiery furnace. Okay, it was a law that you had to worship this image, you know. But if you didn't, you were supposed to be burned alive in a fiery furnace. And, you know, look at the times where we're coming into, man. Esau's getting ready to, you know, implement his draconian measures, you know, in various different forms, such as Maxine and the MOTB. Okay, right? That no man, you know, might buy or sell. You know what I'm saying? The MOTB, man, the RFID CHIP. Okay, all right, and that's the MOTB. Okay, and before then, you know, of course, he's got his Maxine, you know, and you know he's coming down with his measures, man. You know, his draconian, you know, dragon-like demeanor and speech, and, you know, big old boogeyman threatening and all this other stuff, right? That don't mean nothing anyway, because the Lord is going to deliver his elect. Okay, we just got to be faithful. It says, wherefore at that time certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. They spake and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image, and whoso falleth not down and worshipeth, that he should be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar in his rage and fury commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, do you not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made well. But if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? Talking mad crazy, right? I'm saying. So, King Nebuchadnezzar approached Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego because they were accused of the princes of the people, of Babylon. Right? So King Nebuchadnezzar, steps to them like, yo, what's up? I'm saying, like, I'm hearing all of this. Y'all don't worship my image, and you don't worship my gods. I'm mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Don't you know what the law is? I'll kill you. Okay, I'll throw you into a fiery furnace. Verse 16, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said unto the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. We ain't anxious about answering you. If it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So he was cool with them at first. I'm saying, and he heard this accusation, so he had to go check it out for himself. Like, yo, I know my princes and my guys I set over my affairs in Babylon. I know they done listen to my laws, and they gonna do what I tell them to do. But then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was like, nah, we ain't doing that. Look, we ain't anxious to answer you. Look, we not careful about it. This is what it is. We know the Lord gonna deliver us, and if he don't, we still ain't gonna worship your image. Period, point blank. Right? Then it says, then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be hot. So they made the furnace 7 times hotter than it would normally be. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. And then these men were bound in their coats, their hosens, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. All right? Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and rose up in haste, and spake and said unto the counselors, Did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the 4th is like the Son of God. Yeah, man. Okay. So there you go, man. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was cast into the fiery furnace, and the Lord came into the midst of the furnace, and he was with them in the midst of it. Okay, and they survived. Okay, and the men who were set to cast them into the furnace were burned in the fire instead of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? Verse 26, it says, Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High God, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire, and the princes, governors, and captains, and counselors, and the king's counselors being gathered together saw these men upon whose body the fire had no power, nor was an hair of their head singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who hath sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's words, and yielded their bodies, that they might not serve nor worship any god except their own God. Therefore I make a decree that every people, nation, and language would speak anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other God that can deliver after this sort. And then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. So there you go, man. An amazing account in the scriptures, man, that we are to cherish, okay, and treasure more than fine gold, okay. The Lord is marvelous, man, and He is capable of anything and everything. You know, it's up to us to believe and keep that faith, man, and may the Lord increase our faith, you know. So, you know, that's the hope and comfort, man. Some of you shall be cast into prison, but hey, that's not the end all be all, man. Okay? That's not the end all be all, man. You know, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. You know, He will fight for us, man. So with that, you know, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the elect. Hey, Shalom.